All right.
Lovely.
All righty, Rue. Welcome back.
Welcome
Literally
back.
Nothing Matters. We're together again.
We are back, baby.
Woo!
IRL. And it feels good.
It really does.
Reunited, and it
It
feels
really does.
so good. It literally has been since like May or June.
Yeah. Been a long time.
It's been a minute. Traffic's hard. If you live in Boston,
Yeah.
you know. In or around Boston. Like by like a 50-mile radius. You know.
Yeah.
It's rough.
This is lovely,
But-
though. We have a whole girl date planned, so I'm excited.
Let's talk about it. We're gonna do this,
Mm-hmm.
which I've been really looking forward to all day long.
Yep.
We're gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna go jam out
Yep.
with our clams out.
Yep.
Not with our clams out. At
Those are
the
away.
Eras Tour movie.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I feel like it's what I need in my heart and my soul.
I know. Is it bad that I'm stressing that I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stand for if I'm bopping out?
Oh, I mean,
Like, am I required to stand like
No.
a concert? Okay.
I already have told myself like there will be multiple times. I also think there are natural times built in, like folklore era,
Yeah.
Evermore. Those are sit down
True.
songs. We can sit.
True. Okay.
It's also 3 hours long.
Yes. I
And,
might be
like,
asleep. My God.
It's also starting at 7.
Yeah.
So we are out on the town.
Yeah. I told Chad I was going to be home at like 11, and he was like, what are you thinking? I was like,
You're like, it's
I
Taylor.
can't do it. I know. Ever. I wouldn't do this for anyone but Taylor Swift.
I
so
know.
Here we are.
And me.
Well.
Actually, so what era, 2 questions.
Okay.
What era is your era and what era is your favorite? Because I feel like those are 2 separate questions, you know?
Yeah. What era am I in, like, right now?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, which one are you connected the most to?
I feel like I want to say 1989 because it just came out.
I
You know,
know.
I feel like I have been listening to that on
I know.
repeat, and I love the cover art for it. It just
Mm.
is very in the feels.
Airy.
Yeah, the clouds, and she's just beautiful and natural.
Yeah.
But my favorite song, I think I've said this before, is All Too Well, and I liked it even before the 10-minute version came out.
Yeah.
So I feel like Red is probably where I get most alive. So I would say that's probably my favorite one because it's kind of like when she came back too. Like she was like
Yeah.
a bad little biatch in
Yeah.
that. So I love that. I don't have that in me right now,
Mm.
but it's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm probably living in. I'm just gonna say 1989 because I can't think of
love it.
anything else.
Yeah.
What about
I
you?
love that. Okay, so I feel like my favorite era is 1989 because I feel like when that album came out, I was going through probably like my most dramatic and toxic of breakups.
Yeah.
So like the amount of times that I would scream sing clean in my car while I was like trying to ditch this insane person.
Yeah.
That would just come back.
Did you see
around
the
every 6
video of
months.
when she explained what the song was about?
No.
So it was about she was sexually assaulted and she won the case, and that was about.
How did I not know this?
I know it was like a random TikTok that I saw. So I mean, it's not a straight source.
Yeah.
But she was like live in concert, and it was hard for her to talk about. And she was talking about how she was like a year ago. I was in court, and this is where the song originated from. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. I feel like that brings so much more. I mean, not that I love that for her, but I mean, I love that she won the case.
Yeah.
And was able to like produce such a beautiful piece of art
Mm-hmm.
from it that I feel like so many people connect to on so many different things.
I love her stories behind her songs. Like when you find the meaning, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh,
And even just like the way that she story tells, it makes, I mean, I feel like that's why people are so crazy for her because they feel so connected to the different stories because you can make them fit into
for sure
so many things of your life.
Do you do that too, where you think of certain guys for different songs?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I am a sucker for emotion. Like I love watching a movie that I know is going to make me cry if I'm in that kind of space, that kind of thing. So it's like yeah, I want to feel that from the song.
Okay.
So I will connect it to
Yes.
like certain things in my life.
Or like if you want to be mad.
Yeah,
Bad
like channel
blood,
it.
you know?
Yeah.
I
All
love
too well
it.
10-minute version and
Yeah.
just scream sing it.
She is so amazing. She needs to be president, truly. Taylor for president.
Taylor for president.
Get on the ballot.
And I feel like I'm in my lover era.
Oh, that does feel right.
Because I feel like the wedding and trying to like keep those good vibes going.
Yeah, hold on to them.
And but then I feel like she also had some kind of like standing up for herself kind of songs, like The Man and You Need to Calm Down. And I'm also in that era of like, I'm not touched from anybody.
I like it.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I know. We're so excited.
And I was a grumpalumpagus all day, so I feel like I need these good vibes tonight.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's a girl date.
How was your Halloween?
My Halloween was great. I was Winnie the Pooh with a big old belly. And Annie
so
Banana
perfect.
was Piglet. And Chad was Tigger. And we got together with our besties. Annie's best friend Quinn and her family. And just walked around the neighborhood, and it was perfect.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do wish that your Winnie the Pooh outfit had been more legitimately Winnie the Pooh, and you had just worn a like red crop top and let the belly hang out.
Scarred people.
And like nude leggings.
Chad said that. He was like, "Why did you buy that dress?" I'm like, "Well, what else would I wear?" He's like, "Well, you could have gotten like yellow leggings and then just worn a red shirt." And I was like, "Where would I wear yellow leggings to, Chad?" Like, what? This dress was $12.99 on Amazon.
No,
like,
your outfit was very cute. I was just being funny.
No, but it was a good time. What about you? What'd you do?
I don't know. It was kind of an unconventional Halloween. Because I was supposed to help plan a Halloween event, like a little family, like neighborhood kind of event on that Sunday, but we got rained out, so it got canceled. And then instead, so it was for a developer, like a property management company developer, I don't know, in Southie. And so instead they had us like set up a table on Broadway and give out like the goodie bags that we were gonna give out at the event. And it was like adorable because they're actually Southie on Halloween popping off with the kids. Like, really? 500 children with their families.
Where do they come from?
There are more families there than I guess we would think.
Wow. Whenever I think of Southie, I think of like Capo.
22 years old. Like, 22-year-old at Lincoln and Capo, like ripping it up. They came out of the woodwork. And it was fun. Like, it was really fun to like see all the different costumes and like definitely was the same, like groups of families. Like I had FOMO from like the parents. Yes. And having so much fun with the other parents and like seeing it through their kids' eyes. Yeah. And that was a new feeling.
Yeah. It is so fun. I'm like trying to hold on to every little second of that because it's like I'm already in it and it's going so fast and it is so fun. Like Annie, whenever she would see the Halloween decorations, boo, boo, boo. And I'm like, oh, she's just taking it all in. And it's like she's never seen it before. It's so cool to think of, you know?
Oh, it's love fun. That. Yeah. I know. When I got back, so I got back in time for like a few trick-or-treaters. We didn't get that many at our house. But like as I was pulling up, literally not one other house had their lights on. I was like, what the hell? There are families on the street. What? So what's going on? And these kids, I like got out of my car and these kids started walking down the street and I heard them. They're like, man, the street's looking pretty quiet. And I was like, we have full-size candy bars over here. Like,
wow, full size?
Mark was very adamant about the full size.
What a guy.
Thank goodness I didn't even buy that many because, thank God, I barely had any trick-or-treaters. But I felt like a perv being like, literally luring kids to my house with candy.
Full-size candy bars over here.
Literally. So that was weird. But I was like sitting here with Mark after we watched The Shining because he had never seen it, which was like,
wow, you're daring. I can't watch scary movies in my life anymore. I used to love them, but now
I like
with my nightmares now.
Like classic scary movies because it's like less gory, less like so intense.
Yes.
Like you can just have good like filmmaking and like jump scares, not like literally seeing the worst things you've ever seen that will haunt you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So we like watched The Shining, got takeout, which was really fun, but we're sitting there and I'm like, Mark, like I had FOMO of like all my friends posting pictures of their kids and like seeing all like the families, and we ran into some of his friends that have like a 3 or 4-year-old that live in Southie. They like came by the table and they were having so much fun. And he was like, okay, I hear you, but like, isn't this nice right now? I'm like, okay, I should live in the now, but like, whatever.
I know. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny because like once you're in it, I mean, I wouldn't change a thing, but like you're in it. There is no going back. So like you are constantly parenting. You know, I feel like people
there's no
don't.
breaks.
Yeah, there's no breaks. Even if like you're like, oh, you'll nap when they nap and things like that. No, you don't. No, you're just always a parent. You can never be sick. You can never be tired. You can never be in a bad mood because then you give them trauma. And God forbid they have to work so hard at what we're working at.
I know. It's real though. I know. I feel like I'm in that awkward in-between stage where I'm feeling more and more ready to have kids, but like we're just not exactly there yet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of weird emotions, but I also need to like be present in this stage of our relationship because it is so fun and so great. And like, not that I'll, regret anything, but I think there will be moments where like you're in the chaos and you're like, how nice was that Halloween where we got to just like sit on the couch and order pizza and like watch scary movies.
Yep. And it was funny now entering like newborn phase again. Chad and I talked and we're like, oh my God, can we handle this? Because it's like, you don't know the first time around of like you're 24/7 on the clock. Like you think of going to sleep as like your routine, but like when you have a newborn, you don't actually go to sleep.
No. Yeah.
And I feel like now Annie's, 16 months old and she goes to bed at 7 and she wakes up at 7 and she's been sleeping great. And now we're in this routine of like at 7:30, we sit on the couch and we watch our show and we'll have popcorn, stuff like that. And I'm like, we're going back. I don't know if we're ready. Because now we know it's coming for us,
But I feel like
it's beautiful too.
Also, I mean, but I think it's good for you to recognize both sides. Like we don't need to be toxically positive.
Oh no. I will be bitching the whole newborn phase. It is not my favorite and I am sorry in advance.
It's all right. You gotta get through it. But what was I gonna say? Oh no. I feel like this time around though, like you're more well equipped because you know more about like what you might need, like how to take care of you, like what to expect and all of that. So look at it that way too.
Yes. I feel like it's really just letting go of control instead of like trying to follow what you think and how you think your life's going to be because it's never like that.
Yeah. And like I feel like that's such a universal feeling. Like I have multiple friends. I have one kid that are like, I want to give my kid a sibling and I always thought I wanted more, but like I'm just starting to feel like myself or a version of myself again.
Yes, that's so true.
That like it's so scary to like go back.
Yeah. I'm so curious if I'm going to feel the same kind of big transformation with this second one as I did with Annie because like your whole identity shifts and I think obviously things are going to shift again. But it's like, are you going to like completely change who you are again? You know? I don't know.
I mean, maybe not. It's like you're already in mom mode, but I'm sure you'll find different like pieces of yourself.
Yeah.
Learn new things.
I'll let you guys know. Don't hold back. Don't you worry.
I love it. So exciting. What is your thorn in your rose this week?
You know what? I wrote it down 2 seconds ago because I knew you were going to ask and I was going to forget.
I feel like I wrote things down too, which I like rarely do.
All right. My rose. Cuddle season is upon us. But not really cuddle. Like, I don't want to cuddle with anyone. I hate cuddling. But, like, cuddling by yourself with a nice cup of tea. If you know me, I am a tea fanatic. And so I've been having, like, 3-4 glasses of tea a day.
Oh, my God. I love it.
I do a lot of just lemon and honey and a little bit of mint, just anything warm because I'm always cold. And so I'm really pumped for that. Fuzzy socks, leggings, sweatshirts, big throws, like anything that is comfortable. I got my pregnancy pillow. It's a nice boundary for me and Chad.
Yeah, right? Like, stay over there.
So I've been loving that. And I've been pumping my heat up to like 70.
Same already in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Chad's letting me do it this time around. So thank you. So that's my rose. It's just I'm just embracing the layers.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think definitely the Eras movie tonight. Like, I have been looking forward to that. But also, which we're going to talk about today, I have officially filed for an LLC.
Wow.
For my event planning company that I am starting.
Incredible.
And I have definitely been feeling the
yeah,
like so nervous, like no one's gonna hire me and like nothing's gonna happen. So like I haven't, like I feel like I've been like resisting like taking those next steps and like sharing it and like talking about it.
Yay.
But I took some steps this week. I built a website that like I need to edit, but like it started.
You're humble though. You're so good at everything like that. I haven't seen it and I already know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much. I feel like I am my worst critic.
No, obviously. But you're so good at that, you know?
So it's exciting to feel like, okay, this is happening and whatever will be, will be.
It's so scary. I feel like I don't know the full extent of it. I just see what Chad does as a business owner and it's like so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
And you have to be so brave and just so in your power. And that's so amazing that you're doing that.
Thanks. A lot of pep talks to myself. Like,
yeah, you can do it. You're doing it, right?
I'm doing it. I mean, I feel like that's all it takes, right? Is just like a little bit forward every single day.
Is the LLC process a bitch?
It's actually not that bad.
They just want your money.
Yeah, basically they just want your money. It's more expensive than doing like sole proprietorship, which is what I had done for my personal training business.
Okay.
Because it felt like basically the only difference is that in LLC your personal assets are protected.
Okay.
So if someone like sues your business, that's disconnected from that.
Okay.
And with like a sole proprietorship, it's basically like you're doing business under your own name. So your personal assets could
so probably smart.
Risk. Yeah. And like the personal training, it's like I feel like I was dealing with like much lower like numbers, like money wise, and like lower liability. It's like I had liability insurance in case someone like broke an ankle and sued me or something. But I feel like with events, like the contracts are more money. So like, which happy days.
I love it.
Bringing that in. Come on.
Yeah. So what kind of events are you going to be doing? Or do you want to like talk about that for our bigger conversation?
Let's talk about that for the bigger conversation. Okay. But no, literally I just went on Legal Zoom and had them do it.
Smart.
Me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Google do you have your thorn in your head?
Yeah. My thorn is just the fact, I mean, today I was so grumpy. Like, so grumpy. And I hate when I get like this where I know that I'm just like in like fight or flight, like reactive mode. And I allow myself to get like that like too often. And I know it's from looking at my phone too much and like just being all hyped up. Like I feel like that's the only way to describe it is like I'm just hyped up and like any little thing that goes wrong I'm like like freaking out. And I like freaked out at Mark over nothing, which like he is the easiest breeziest, and like after I'll be like, I'm sorry I was being such a naggy bitch wife, or like sorry that I freaked out at you, and he's like, literally nothing happened. So I'm like, you're a liar, but thank you. And I feel like I've been trying to be better about that. I'm like not looking at my phone in the morning and like spending less time doing things that will add to that. But today I just couldn't escape it. And it's annoying.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's fine.
It's fair.
Yeah. All good.
So funny because I couldn't even imagine you mean.
Oh my God. That is so kind of you.
I'm like,
But like, I feel like I can be such a bitch.
Oh, hey. Oh my God.
Look out, you're next.
Look out. I'm like, I gotta go home. I don't feel good. Mom, come pick me up.
We're canceling our plans.
My thorn, I hope that this makes sense because I was thinking about it on the way here. And I've been feeling like we've talked a little bit about how sometimes you can feel control over food, you know, whether you restrict yourself with food or you overindulge, things like that. And I've been feeling that sense of like control in parenting, which is really interesting because like I'm a very easy parent. Like I am very flexible. I give Annie choices. I go with the flow. I am like really educated on different parenting styles, probably too much so. How like my own emotions impact her. And recently there's this one example that's been like frustrating me is this like TV thing. So I know that there's so much research out there that says like don't the biggest thing is like don't put kids in front of a TV until they're 2. And the research supports so much brain development, and I get it. And so in my head, I'm like, all right, don't do TV, don't do TV. And then I'm like a pregnant, tired mom who like just needs a couple minutes to herself. And so just that one, it's like one example of so many other things in parenting. But I'm just feeling like this need for like a regimen, you know, when I'm like, okay, well, Annie, we'll do 20 minutes of Miss Rachel a day, and that's it. And then I'm like, why am I putting these boundaries on myself? Because then it's over, and then she's like, you know, like crying to do something, and I'm like, I don't have anything in me. Like I do so many things with her, so she's definitely, we're never just at the house. But I just feel like this sense of control around having to have boundaries in parenting and like knowing the best approach for it, but then it doesn't work for me sometimes. And it's like just forgiving myself for those things, I guess, and just allowing a little bit more flexibility into our schedule and our routine instead of just like doing what I know is like the best, you know, in quotes. So just noticing that and trying to be accepting of a loosey-goosey approach, I guess.
I think it's hard though, I'm sure at
Does
times.
That make sense?
Yeah, it totally does.
Okay.
Like I feel like that seems like it would be such a normal thing to feel.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I want a sense of routine so I can know what to expect for the day and feel like you have a semblance of like a, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So, just weird. I guess I'm just learning how to be a parent, and it's hard.
I mean, yeah. I feel like seeing friends go through parenting, it like really helps remind you that like our parents also were parents for the first time, you know?
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Also just experiencing life for the first time and like trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. And it's so funny how the different research changes every few years. It's like,
well, I feel like even with that too, it's like just because of that, take some of the pressure off because in like 5 years, they're probably going to be saying something different.
Absolutely. So. Yep. I know. It's so funny. It's like the little things of what you're trying. Like the amount of time I put into research of like what freaking diapers to put on this child is like ridiculous. The laundry detergent, the different clothing brands, because some have chemical. It's like insane. And I'm going down rabbit holes and I need to kind of like
take the pressure off a little
pull
bit.
myself out. Yeah.
Yeah. You just want to be a good mama.
I'm trying.
You love your baby.
But it's so hard when you know better.
Yeah.
You know? Totally. It's like I know organic food's better, but like I want some freaking goldfish around here, you know? But anyways.
And I feel like having a little bit of a balance of that is fine and it's normal. Like you can't be perfect.
True.
Like
I guess.
You have to. But aren't you?
But I am.
But like,
anyhow. Yeah. What about you? Did you say your turn?
Yeah. I was just grabbing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's jump into the content then.
Let's jump right in.
All right. Go for it.
Okay. I'm starting a business.
Tell me more.
Okay. So I was thinking about what exactly I wanted to talk about. And like we already kind of did an episode about our different career paths and all of that, but I feel like there are a lot of layers to everything that I have been feeling with starting a business and all of that. So I kind of want to talk more about that. So, yeah, I'm starting an event planning business and I have been feeling very excited and very aligned. And even though I feel that like scary little bit of resistance, I think that's more of like a good nervous feeling of like, okay, that means I'm doing something good and like something like exciting. So if I wasn't scared at all, I'd be like, then this isn't like a challenge or, you know. But I also have been feeling not really so much anymore now that I'm like doing it, but like during this kind of in-between process of like, what am I doing? Am I gonna do it? Like, whatever. Feeling like insecure about what other people will think.
Okay.
Because I feel like on the outside I look like a chaotic mess a little bit who like can't decide what the hell I want to do with my life. But that being said, I think also one, it does not matter what anyone else thinks. So like I need to just forget about that, and
which is so hard.
it's impossible.
Yeah.
But and I also feel like that's an important message to other people that maybe are wanting to pursue something and they're worried about what people are going to think. Like, they are not the ones that are lying their head on your pillow every night and like have to look at themselves in the mirror. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. You are stuck with you. So do what's going to make you happy and what works for you. Like, don't let the people that have no say, no like weight in your life.
Yeah. And I think that there's so many steps involved in all of these things. Like, you just often see just the finished product of things, but everything just takes so much time and dedication. And I feel like it's so much more authentic when you show all of those pieces and all of those parts. And I feel like you can become so much more successful when you're just honest and relatable.
Yeah, totally. I feel like it's also like okay for your like dreams or your goals to change and to shift, even if it's like a major shift, like what I'm doing right now. But I think like you have to let your life ebb and flow like that instead of just like holding on to something because, well, this was my goal and everyone knows that it's my goal, and like, who cares? Right. You know, like, let go of some of that and just
go towards what feels good.
Let life take you. I also feel like we're kind of sold this idea that like your life ends at 30 or like that's like your expiration date, or it, you know, ends at 40 or whatever. But then you see all these like lists of people that didn't do anything quote unquote great or successful until they were in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s. So like it's never too late also. Right. And like, I'm 31, I'm just getting started. So I shouldn't hold back just because it's like, well, I've already invested this amount of time into this other career path and I missed out on, you know, my opportunity. Like, no, bitch. Yeah. It's still there. Go take it.
I feel so torn about all of those things too. And I feel like you're so inspiring to just like go and do what feels good, because it's so hard to find. And we've talked about this too, like matching your passion with something that makes you money. Yeah. You know, and there's no like, yeah, you made a business and now you're going to make $100,000 a year. Like, you can go and get a job at a bank or whatever and make 6 figures and like everything's good. But it's like, if it doesn't light you up, you know, what's the balance for your happiness versus your finances, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's like figuring out what you want, because, and I go back and forth all the time, like when I'm nervous about this or like know it's going to be hard and it might be a little bit of a hustle, or it is just going to be hard because it's unknown and that feels scary. And like, okay, well, would I be happy just in, not just, but in like more of a stable 9 to 5 kind of job? And like, there are certain positions or jobs that I could think of that feel like, okay, that would be like fulfilling and happy, but I know in my heart of hearts that's like not what I'm supposed to do. But I also feel like it doesn't, like, you following something that feels good doesn't have to mean, you know, quitting a more stable job and like starting your own business. Like, maybe it means finding an organization that like is doing something, like making an impact in the world that you want to help make that impact. Or it's as simple as like finding coworkers that are like really amazing and like you want to spend time with day to day. Like, you can find the fulfillment in different places. But yeah, I also would argue that I maybe am like too okay with change
Mhm.
because like there definitely have been points in my career where I feel like I just kind of like made a decision and like ran with it, which like for better or worse, like this is where I am today and it got me here, so no regrets.
Yep.
But also like take your time and figure it out, you know?
I mean, yes and no. If you're not happy, what's the point in just
yeah.
staying?
That's true. But
know?
like I feel like I wish I had a little bit more of that gene of like wanting to get all my ducks in a row before making things happen.
Yeah.
But it all worked out, so
Yep.
like,
It
so
always
far.
does. It's so funny. They say it like when I was thinking about staying home with Annie, like, oh yeah, are we gonna be able to like make it work? Like everyone says that. Are you gonna be able to make it work? You always do.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
yeah, maybe you have to like, you know, tether it back a little bit
Right.
on
certain things.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you always make it work. The
Yeah.
priority always happens. You just have to be brave enough to just accept it and try it out.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, you pivot again.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I know. I feel like I really, really believe in that. Like everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Mhm.
And I also feel like if you have that mentality, it always will work out. It might not work out the way you think it's going to, and the
Mhm.
outcome might be different, and the journey to get there might be different, but like it not to get too like woo woo, but like manifestation is real.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm going down tangents, but I feel like reflecting back on when I was younger and less like jaded by the world,
Mhm.
and more like, you know, in my like I'm graduating college or whatever, and I'm like, the world is my oyster, like my whole life is in front of me, which like it still is, but at that point in life you really feel a lot more like
Mhm.
that. I feel like I manifested so many things that I wanted. Like I manifested everything that I
Yeah.
wanted. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like living in luxury. I was poor as shit and like getting my car towed every other day, and like my debit card would get declined and like I would
Yeah.
overdraft. Like it wasn't manifesting funds, but like
You're manifesting fun though.
It's like too much fun for sure. But I feel like I really like when I graduated, I decided like I want to live in the city.
Mhm.
I made it happen.
Yep.
I want to work in media. I made it happen.
Yeah.
And I didn't like have all this, I feel like, external like stuff happening to me yet that like made me have all this self-doubt. Like I feel like as you get older, you get more careful and you get more like I don't
Mhm.
know. It's weird to think
Yeah, I
about.
feel like the less layers you shed and the less beliefs that you ingrain on yourself and like, limitations that you hold yourself accountable for, the less likely you are to succeed. So it's just
Yeah.
like just keep going even though it's really hard. And just like believing in yourself. But it's so funny that we're talking about this because this week I saw one of my friends who was a teacher with me years ago, left the classroom and got a different job, and she posted something like she's now doing curriculum work and she was working outside, and it seems like a fabulous job. And she had said like,
Great.
I don't regret 1 second of leaving the classroom. Like there are longer days and I work year round now, so it's a different work type of situation. And I was thinking too, and I was like, I messaged her and I said, this is the exact same thing that I'm thinking about all the time. It's I don't regret 1 second of leaving my job. And it's so scary when you're in it, but it's like I'm so happy that I did because now I'm like checking off all of these bucket list items, and I'm so fortunate and privileged to be in the position that I am. However, Chad would also not be in the position he is in without me. So it definitely is a team effort, but it's like I think that we're just so scared. And it's like, but I can always go back. We can always go and do those those big careers. You have stinky breath.
Yeah, he's really stinky breath. Bubba.
Hi.
Why don't you come here?
What do you need? What do you need? I was figuring out life. Like we all are.
He's here.
I don't know.
Thank you. Yeah, but I also feel good God. Okay. I also feel like that fear that we feel, it's like that resistance. It is that sign that like this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
And also, like, do it scared. Like, I know that's,
Right.
like, such a cheesy, like, one of those lines. Like, feel the fear and do it anyways. But it's true. It's like, do it messy. Do it scared. It doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
You'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
It's all going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like, so I was kind of, like, thinking through the trajectory of how my career has gone. And I started out, as we talked about, at Boston Magazine doing events. And then I went to Cape Air, and I feel like I was like still really young and like in the fitness scene all the time, and kind of like seeing these like local, almost like celebrity kind of, you know what I mean? Like they're not, but it's like they're known in the local industry and in the local community, and they're Lululemon ambassadors with their, you know, professional photographs up in a Lululemon store.
Wow.
And they're like getting all these followers on Instagram, and they have these like cult followings that go to their classes. And I feel like I saw that.
Yep.
And almost from like a place of insecurity and like wanting to fill that hole that I had within myself. I feel like that was more so my push to like want to be in fitness. Like, don't get me wrong, I did genuinely like, love connecting with people on the daily and like doing something active and not being in front of a computer and feeling like I just was kind of like out in the world being a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think a lot of it kind of stemmed from insecurities and wanting to be accepted and wanting to be liked, and also wanting to be like because I didn't like myself, like the fittest and the skinniest. And if I was an instructor, that means I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is so losery, but like it definitely
I think it's the truth. And I think that people just don't say it out loud, but everyone actually, if you think hard, it is so true. Like even as teachers, like you want to be a teacher because you want power. You are the leader of that classroom, and kids cannot tell you no. So it's like, it's so funny when you think about all of these different careers. It's like, no, you want to be a police officer, likely because you want to have power. You want to be a teacher because you want to have power. You want to have like all of these careers. Sometimes there's a much bigger influence behind it than you even know.
Yeah, totally. Like I never would have had the self-awareness and the insight to realize that back then, but now looking back on it, I can definitely see that in myself. And I think that's also why I felt, I mean, then COVID happened and all of that. So it's like the industry got flipped upside down. My trajectory got flipped upside down. Everything was weird and wonky. But I also feel like I felt really unfulfilled because I didn't even know what I was working towards besides getting more clients so I could pay my bills. And like I didn't have these like clear goals because I think I started it out of that place of just like wanting acceptance and wanting to be liked. So like, was my goal to just get more Instagram followers? For what reason, you know? Was my goal to be a Lululemon ambassador? Like, no, I didn't really care about that. So like, I don't feel like I ever felt that fully, I don't know, fulfilled. Like there definitely was a period of time where I felt very fulfilled by it. I never fucking stopped posting about it on Instagram. Like obviously I liked it, but I also just feel like it was something that was like a hobby, and I should have really reflected a little bit more before taking that leap. But at the same time, if I didn't take that leap and see it all work out in one way or another, I probably wouldn't feel so brave to just like take a leap
for this
whenever I feel like leaving.
You know? Whenever I feel like leaving.
So it's all a part of the journey.
So tell us more about your company. What is it? Like, tell me everything. What can we do?
Well, I will say one little backstory about it, because I feel like even at 31 and doing all this therapy and like trying to, you know, better myself and all of that, the amount of like self-doubt and stuff that still creeps in is wild.
I know.
And I feel like for the longest time, because I love doing events and, you know, all the stuff that comes with that. And I feel like when I left Cape Air and all of that, like I definitely wouldn't have been ready to do something like this on my own, but I really did not believe in myself that I could even at all have a successful business doing that. But like I've stuck with it in a part-time way for years, supporting other planners. I did like almost a year-long contract job on the like virtual events because it was during COVID at Vertex. And this spring I sat down with my old manager from Boston Magazine. We got coffee and caught up, and I was just kind of like trying to pick her brain on like, where
Does she still work for Boston Magazine?
No, she actually went off on her own last year and has been like crushing it.
Ooh.
She is like so talented, so connected in Boston. Like it is no surprise to me that she has been like booked and busy from the jump.
Good.
But also like encouraging to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we sat down, I was just kind of like voicing this self-doubt and voicing my like, I just don't know what to do. And she's like, what do you mean you don't feel like you have enough experience? And she kind of like listed it all out for me. And it wasn't until someone else said it back to me.
You're like, can you send me that in resume format, please?
I'm like, actually, if you could pop on Word real quick, format it nicely. Thank you. It's just wild, like the stories that we tell ourselves.
Oh,
and like sometimes you just need that one person to be like, you literally are so qualified.
Right.
Like, just go.
Right.
Do it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like guys, not to bring it into like a whole guys and girls thing, but I feel like guys have the audacity to just like go for the jobs that they are, you know, less than qualified for. And like we sit here and talk ourselves out of all the things that like we can absolutely do. We are so capable.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So that was kind of like the whole origin. So shout out to Emily Knight, EFK Events. She is my career mom.
She's my mom.
Yeah. Love her dearly. But so my business. It's called Details by Driscoll because I love an alliteration. And I really, I feel like I'm a creative person. I don't love like naming things and like that branding stuff. Like I don't think I'm good at that.
It's so interesting because you are.
Oh, thanks. I don't feel like I am. Like I feel like there are just like so many cooler names, but like I can't think of one. And there's part of me that I'm like, oh, I need to like hire someone that can like do my branding and make a logo and like do all that. Right. And it's like, no, bitch, just throw it out there.
Yes. See, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks.
And like just get started. And then down the road, once it's making money, you hire someone and then they polish it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
But it's going to be a full service planning firm, boutique firm, you could call it. One part of it will be supporting other planners because I know I still have so much to learn, and it's such a good way of like getting in the industry and like making contacts and learning from other people and getting ideas and all of that, which I'm already doing with Emily and with another company, so that's great. But then I'll also will be offering full service planning or partial planning, so that could look like, you know, 6 months before your event or just like day of support. So kind of like making it fit to whatever people's needs are.
Like an a la carte option.
A la carte, yes. But honestly, anything and everything, because I love doing weddings and that kind of thing, but I also really have enjoyed doing like nonprofit fundraisers and corporate events with these like other event planning companies. So definitely open to doing that kind of stuff, but I think starting out especially like our age group and like what my peers are doing, weddings, social things, even like anniversary parties, birthday parties, proposals, showers. ready for it all.
And so will you supply like a schedule? Will you supply like decorations? Like what are the types of things that you do for the people?
Yeah. So full service is just that. So it's like I would be the main contact for all the vendors. So say you come to me and you're like, I want to throw a banger of like an anniversary party. Here's like the vibe that I'm thinking. Then it's like I can come to you with the choices rather than you scouring the internet being like,
I need
what
this
do I
in my
do?
life.
Right.
Like, can you plan out my outfits? Can you plan out when I brush my teeth? Like everything.
Yeah. So it's like I can send like, okay, here's some like inspiration. Do you like this choice? Do you like this choice? And like I would hire the vendors and be the one that's managing.
I feel like I'm excited.
Stuff.
This is so much fun.
So fun.
It's like when you go to take a test and it's open-ended and you have to write a whole essay, like, oh, blah. Yeah. But like, I want to go and take a test that has multiple choice. Right. Like, give me some choices and I get to just choose and then whatever I choose is right.
And I feel like I just planned a wedding all for myself. Yeah. And all by myself. And I knew the value of a planner before that. But now I really know the value just from like, it is so overwhelming. Yeah. Like you get engaged and then you realize like, oh, I have a whole other job now. Yeah. Like it is so full job. Yep. And like with TikTok and Pinterest, like it is doable, but like you can drive yourself absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Being like, well, is this my vibe? Is this my vibe? Yeah. Do I want these flowers or these flowers? And it's not just 2 choices. It's like 75 choices in front of you. And then like you have to narrow it down yourself. Where like if you have a planner, let me give you these few choices. Yep. Which one are you choosing? Yeah. And then all you have to do is say this one. And then I do everything else.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yay.
It's very nice.
I feel like I'm like feeling just more relaxed just hearing that that's an option of life.
Yes.
So some events, so you'll do smaller events too, like birthday parties or
absolutely
like bar mitzvahs, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love a mitzvah. It's funny. I never went to a single one as a child.
God, I went to like 100.
I feel like, I don't know. I must have lived in a really like sheltered kind of like super generic kind of like Christian folks.
Yeah. Christian what folk?
Yeah. Yep. Like I feel like around Boston, there are just like bigger Jewish communities. Yeah. Rather than like, I don't know, New Hampshire or whatever.
Sure.
Like in like these little small towns. But I've helped with a bunch of bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. They're so much fun.
They really are.
And you can do really fun
13
themes.
And you're at them, like forget it. Yeah. Oh my God. To the window, to the wall. That's all I remember. You would get down and dirty.
Yes. Oh my God.
Ugh.
They're honestly nothing scarier than a 13-year-old girl. Let me tell you.
Dropping it low, not knowing how to.
I supported Merge Events, who I've been helping with a bar mitzvah this weekend, which was so much fun. It was at this pickleball bar in Southie. So like the adults came like ready to play pickleball. The kids were playing, but they also had like a DJ. But like when I tell you the fear that you feel when a swarm of 13-year-old girls is coming into the door, and you have to be like, welcome.
Yes.
And they're like, ew, cringe, millennial, don't look at me. I might catch the millennial.
Oh my God.
And then like the DJ started playing. Honestly, like I feel like super old. I don't even know what the song was. But it was like, I think their equivalent to like to the windows, to the walls. Okay. And like these kids, I almost got trampled like Lion King. Just swarms to the dance floor. Yes. They're jumping up and down. They're singing. And then it's like this whole, I don't know, like this one line that was just like, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. Ooh. And they all start screaming it. And all of the adults look around and they're like,
meanwhile, it's 2 p.m. on a Sunday and you're in a temple.
Yeah, right? Right? So funny. Oh my God. And one last little story from this performance. So the wait staff come up to me and they're like, so we found someone's Invisalign in a napkin.
Tell me it was yours.
I wish. Hilarious. No, because then I had to go ask the DJ to make an announcement And the DJ just starts laughing. He's like, there is a first time for everything.
Oh my God.
And literally had to be like, so who's ever Invisalign an iPhone? They're at the hostess stand. And this like awkward little 13-year-old came over and she's like, they're mine. Can I just keep them up here for now? And we're like, no. We're like in a cup.
Oh, that's
so funny. So,
wow.
yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. I'm happy for you. I actually hate when people say I'm proud of you, so I'm going to take that back. I feel like it's like, I don't know, like mommy-ish. I'm so proud of you.
It feels like condescending.
Maybe
in
that's the word. Thank you.
Specific like circumstances or people for sure. But I want to find that condescending from you.
Okay. I don't know why. When people say I'm proud of you, I'm like, thanks, Mom.
And you're like, did you not think I was capable of this?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Or when people say, I'm sorry. Like, Chad was in a really terrible mood because he's been having a lot of trouble going on with his own career. And he was sitting on the couch and he's venting to me about all of these, like, actually really big problems. And at the end, I'm like, I just had nothing to say. Like, I had no words of wisdom other than just listening to him. And I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like, that just seems so just, like, not involved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so hard to know what to say.
Where it just feels like very like, oh, I'm just kind of brushing this off. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that sucks.
Yeah.
Still got to support me.
Ouch. Yeah.
But anyways, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Yay.
I'm just excited. I feel like, I don't know, I've been in a slump this last like year or so. And it's good to like feel excited about and like really, even I feel like I was excited when I started like doing personal training on my own, but I didn't have this like gut feeling of like, this is what I want to be doing. And it feels right.
Incredible. Yay.
Yeah. So follow me on Instagram, Details by Driscoll.
Oh, you have a whole Instagram account?
Yeah, I haven't like started promoting it yet because like my website's not live because
it's one thing at a time.
Getting a domain and all of that is like, I'm really bad at technology.
Yeah. You're not.
It's like literally getting the like www.detailsbydriscoll.com and like it's like
can't you just Google it and like make AI do it?
Yeah, that's what I should have done because instead it's like I did it on Google Workspace so I could get like a hello at detailsbydriscoll.com email to be like legit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, making a Squarespace website. So then you have to transfer the domain. And I'm bad at technology. So if anyone wants to be a intern for me.
Free worker for me in tech department, let me know.
I can pay you in dog snuggles and seltzer water.
Yes. That's
cheese and crackers.
On the days at grocery shop.
So, yeah. Thanks for letting me just talk about myself for a while.
Thanks. I know. I feel like all I do is when we're on this, I'm like, no.
Same. Like, who wants to hear more about me? So if anyone needs any events planned or
will you work with budgets? Like if someone
yeah.
So like reach your budget out regardless and you guys can make something happen.
Right.
Because sometimes that's scary when you're like, ooh, this sounds like right up my alley, but like I don't want to email someone and be like, oh yes, and now it's going to be $50,000, and you're like,
right,
okay,
right, and that's perfect. That's exactly the number I was thinking.
So like reach out regardless, and you can make something work.
Yeah, because it's like even if you don't have the budget for full service planning, it's like maybe we do a couple of calls just to kind of help you get through the weeds, and then I'm there the day of to like make sure it runs smoothly. Like that can even be helpful.
Yes,
especially for something like a wedding. If you're, you know, they say like blank slate venues, but even like my venue was not a blank slate venue, and it still was like, okay, who's setting up the decor?
Right.
Because there's not anyone to do that. Like making sure that, you know, this is happening and this is happening and this vendor is on time and all this. Like, you don't want to be worrying about that, whether it's a wedding or just like a big day. You want to be able to like be present, making the memories.
For sure.
Let me handle the details.
Yay! Details by Driscoll.
Woo! All right, we have a dinner to get to and a concert to get to, aka a movie.
And our sweatshirts, our matching sweatshirts that are gray and black.
We did. Oh my god, that's a whole other thing. We have merch on Amazon. Search Literally Nothing Matters on Amazon, and you'll see these adorable.
Yes, they're so cute. Mine's
Crew
literally
necks.
in my bump. Like, you can't even see it. My boobs and my
Yeah.
bump are eating it.
But it has our Literally Nothing Matters logo. It's the perfect, like, fall gray. It has, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll get the full effect. So, like, go watch this on YouTube. Smiley face on the back. And we're telling ourselves that this counts as dressing up as our reputation era because it's like literally nothing matters. F you.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna come on like pink sparkles and we're gonna be like, hey.
Post says hello. And that's all she wrote.
Okay, friends, we'll see you next time.
Peace and blessings.
Bye. It's so funny. We haven't been on Riverside in so long. I like forget like how to use it.